Did you know that Burger King serves more than 11 million customers every day around the world? That means a lot of flame-grilled goodness. But if you've ever wondered what it really takes to make those iconic burgers from the factory to your plate, let's uncover what's behind the bun and whether that bite is really worth it. Before jumping into the modern production process, let's take a quick trip back in time to see how Burger King became the king of burgers. Founded in 1953 in Jacksonville, Florida, Burger King began under the name Insta Burger King, thanks to a special piece of equipment called the Insta Broiler, which allowed multiple burgers to be cooked quickly. However, financial troubles forced the original owners to sell the company just a year later to two franchisees, James McLemore and David Edgerton. These visionaries rebranded the business as Burger King, the name we know today, refined the menu, and introduced the famous flame grilling method that still defines the brand. In 1957, they launched the iconic Whopper, a massive burger for its time that quickly became their star product. Since then, the company has expanded to more than 18,000 locations worldwide, becoming the second largest fast food burger chain after McDonald's. Through the decades, Burger King has continued innovating with its marketing and menu, but flame-grilled burgers have always remained at the heart of its brand identity. Now, with that little history lesson in mind, let's get back to what's really cooking behind the scenes. When you imagine a Burger King burger, you might picture cows roaming freely in open fields. But in reality, Burger King's beef is sourced mostly at an industrial scale. Think large operations where maximizing beef production is the goal. Most of the cattle used for Burger King burgers are grain-fed, a standard practice in fast food beef. Grain feeding helps cows reach the right weight faster and more consistently. It also increases fat content, which creates that juicy bite everyone expects. This is very different from leaner grass-fed beef, which is popular among health-conscious consumers, but that fat content is part of what makes the burger tasty. And what about additives? Well, here's where the line between 100% beef and food processing blurs. Yes, Burger King beef is technically 100% beef, but that doesn't mean it hasn't been touched by food science. To maintain consistency across thousands of restaurants, patties sometimes include binders or fillers like soy protein or textured vegetable protein, TVP. These help the meat hold its shape and juiciness during cooking and freezing. They also reduce the total amount of beef needed, making burgers more cost-effective. So while the burger may still be technically 100% beef, it's enhanced with modern ingredients to ensure you get the same experience no matter which Burger King you visit. It's all about balancing flavor, cost, and consistency. That's the magic of fast food. Once the beef is sourced, it goes to processing plants, where large-scale production begins. The meat is divided into lean and fatty parts to create the ideal burger mix, typically about 80% lean to 20% fat, the standard ratio for a juicy burger. The beef is ground and blended into a homogeneous mixture, then shaped into those familiar circular patties. Equipment in these plants can produce tens of thousands of patties per day, a giant conveyor belt of burger goodness. The patties are quickly frozen, using specialized technology to lock in flavor and moisture, while allowing them to be stored for long periods without spoiling. Freezing does slightly change the texture compared to fresh meat, but fast food values consistency above all. For most customers, the difference is subtle enough to go unnoticed. Here's where Burger King stands out. The flame grilling process. Unlike other chains that cook on flat griddles, Burger King uses an open flame system. Patties roll through fire on a conveyor belt, letting fat drip away and creating that smoky, charred flavor. This flame grilling method gives Burger King burgers their signature taste. But here's a little secret: some of those grill marks you see, They're added at the factory to ensure every patty looks perfectly grilled, even if it hasn't spent much time over the flame. It's a more efficient method for large-scale operations. Next comes the unsung hero of the burger, the bun. A good burger bun needs to be soft yet strong enough to hold all the toppings. At Burger King, buns are as much a product of food science as they are of baking. Large industrial mixers and dough conditioners ensure every batch is identical. Ingredients like ammonium sulfate and enzymes are added to control rising and texture. After shaping, baking, cooling, and topping with sesame seeds, buns are quickly frozen, just like the beef, to preserve freshness during transport. Preservatives such as calcium propionate keep mold away, and dough conditioners ensure the same fluffy texture every time. Condiments like ketchup, mustard, and mayo also get a scientific boost. For example, Burger King's mayonnaise often contains stabilizers like guar gum or xanthan gum to keep it smooth and creamy during mass production. Even the ketchup and mustard include preservatives such as potassium sorbate to ensure long shelf life. Finally, let's talk about additives and preservatives more broadly. Common ones include MSG, monosodium glutamate, a flavor enhancer that gives foods their savory umami punch. Safe in small amounts, it ensures the same flavor worldwide. Sodium nitrite, used in meat processing to preserve color and freshness. Safe in low amounts, but controversial in the large doses. Citric acid and sodium benzoate, preservatives in sauces and buns that prevent spoilage. So next time you bite into a Burger King burger, remember, there's more behind that simple sandwich than meets the eye. From carefully sourced beef, meticulous factory processes, flame grilling, and scientific condiments, to buns engineered for consistency. That's how Burger King ensures the same taste in thousands of locations worldwide. So, what about you? Do you prefer Burger King or McDonald's when it comes to fast food? We'd love to know your opinion in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next reviews and tasty content.